Welcome to our tutorial about common controls. In the toolbox, we've got a number of different controls. In this tutorial, I'm going to cover some of the more commonly used controls. Okay, as we discussed previously in our tutorial about the Visual Studio interface, I can simply drag and drop controls into my form. When I move them around in the form, they'll align with the other controls in the form. You can also align your text via the red line that's just appeared here. Here's the Layout toolbar. If you don't see it, right-click and select Layout. Now, if I select one control and then Control-select a second control, you see this control has a white selection and this one here is in black. Let's align them vertically. In this case, I used the Align Left tool. The control which I selected second moves. Let's try it again. We Control-select this one, align them again. Now button number 3 moves. With both controls selected, we can resize them at the same time. Let's center them horizontally and vertically. As you see, the controls are centered as a single block. We've got a number of other tools. Make same size. Once again, the control selected second matches the size of the control we selected first. Send back, and so on. Let's delete these. Now let's grab and drag 2 more buttons into our form. Let me make the Property Inspector a little bit bigger. First, let's assign appropriate names to our buttons. It's important to use names that you can easily distinguish. For example, if you've got 2 buttons, and one's a Yes button and the other one's a No button, it makes sense to name them Button Yes and Button No. If you keep Visual Studio's default names, such as Button 1, 2, 3, and so on, when you return to your code a few months later, it'll be hard to understand at a first glance what the particular button you're looking at actually does. That's why I recommend that you give your button an understandable name. Another good idea when you name controls is to use the common prefixes. For example, name your Yes button BTN Yes. BTN is the common prefix for button. This is especially valuable if you're working with a team of programmers. Now, even if you're writing a simple program for yourself, using the common prefixes will make your work much more comprehensible even to yourself when you open your script after a few months. I'm going to show you a list of some of the commonly used prefixes. This by no means is the only standard, and you may find that down the road you might want to develop your own standard. Button, BTN, label, LBL, listbox, LST. Okay, let's call button 2 BTN No. Button 1 we're going to call BTN Yes. Now let's modify the text on the button. This is the text that the user sees. The first button we're going to label Yes, and the second button we'll label No. In order for your changes to take effect, click Enter or the Tab key. Now, for example, if I select my control from this drop-down menu, it's easier to see at a glance which control I'm working with. I'm going to Control-select both controls and change the font size. Let's say to 11 point. Let's make it bold as well. I'm also going to change the forecolor. We can choose from Web, Custom, or System palettes. Let's use blue. Under Size, let's enter 80 pixels. Tab. Now let's look at the text box control. We're going to start by renaming it with the common prefix txt and then text. We can resize the text box in our form using these handles. Click on this small triangle to activate the multi-line option. If you do that, two more handles appear. These handles will allow you to drag the text box up and down. Now let's take a look at the label control. Once again, we'll rename our label with the common prefix LBL. My label. As you see, the label doesn't have handles. The reason for this is that the auto size property is set to true. Let me change it to false. Now I can resize my label. Let's also change the back color. And let's align the text differently as well. I'd like to center it. Some property values take effect only in runtime. One example of such a property is the visible property. Currently, it's set to true, so we see the control. If I change it to false, it still appears in my form in design time. Let me review the concepts of runtime and design time. We're currently in design time, but if I click debug, I can get to runtime. This is what the user sees. And the label control is not visible because I did set its property to false. In order to return to design time, we can simply close our application, and as you see, our label still appears here in design time. Alright, let's change the visible property back to true. Let's say we want our label to stretch across the length of the application window. We can set the X and Y positions to 0. Tab. Let's say I resize the label to match the width of the application window. Let's test it and see how it works. However, now when I try to resize, the width of the label doesn't change and it looks strange. Let's close, back to design time. Let's fix this. We're going to use the dock property. Currently it's set to none. When I open the drop-down options, we can choose to dock on top, in the center, at the left, right, or bottom, or none as the case may be. I'm going to dock it on top. Let's run our application again. Now when I resize the application window, the label sizes changes as well to match the size. Okay, back to our form. Let's delete our text box. We're going to take a look at the list box now. If we click on this small triangle, the list of list box tasks becomes available. I can click Edit and enter some names here. Let's type Todd, Bob, Nick, and so on. Let's click OK. If we click the triangle again, we'll close the list of list box tasks. Here we can specify the selection mode, so users can select one item or multiple items. I'm going to select one item. By the way, if you see me skip some options in this tutorial, don't worry about this now. I'm just covering the basics in this particular lesson. I'm going to cover many of these properties in greater detail later in this course. Okay, let's go take a look at another common control, the combo box. This control also has a task menu where we can edit items. Let me enter some names here. Nick, Mick, Tom. When I'm done, I click OK. In runtime, the user can select a choice from the drop-down menu. Another common control is the checkbox. For example, if we want the user to agree with something, tab, we can use a Yes checkbox, or we can use two radio buttons. To move both of them at the same time, select them both and drag. Oops, let's go back to Design View. Let's say this button will be our yes value. We'll make the second radio button our no value, tab. The picture box control lets us show an image. We can browse and select an image. Let's cancel out of this for now. And this concludes our tutorial about common controls in Visual Studio.